Welcome back to BullyBall, a 49er podcast. And today's game day, Sunday night football, 49ers versus Broncos. How you doing today? You ready for the game?
Always ready. It's interesting Sunday night, but it still looks very sunny out there in Florida in your background.
In my fake background because if you saw the real one, you'd be like, "What the hell? That ain't a studio." But yeah,
But
so
yes,
let's
definitely ready. Should be a good game.
yeah, it's definitely not sunny where I'm at. We're about to get hit by a hurricane here in Florida. So, uh yeah, that's coming soon.
Florida
Probably
problems.
Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, so let's dive into this matchup. So we have the injury reports for both the 49ers and the Broncos. Obviously, your major one for the 49ers is Eric Armstead is inactive today. Um, do you have the rest of the inactive list on you by chance?
Um, Nick Zakel was on there. Dan
Cheer.
Brunskill, of course, was on there. Ty Davis Price was on there. Um, who else? Uh, I'm not pulling it up right now for some reason. My thing's not showing me.
I got the Broncos inactives for you while we wait. Jalen Virgil, wide receiver. Tyree Cleveland, wide receiver. Darius Phillips, cornerback. Delaren Turner Yell, safety. Jonathan Cooper, outside linebacker. Billy Turner, who is supposed to be their starting tackle, but I don't think he's played at all this season. So that is what that is. And Iomi Uwazaruke, defensive lineman. I believe he's a rookie. But with that said, that means Pat Surtain and Jerry Judy will be active and playing in this game, which were the two major ones on the injury report this week.
Yep. Um, so the Niners inactives, you have Eric Armstead, Kamoko Toure, who's out with a personal issue, Ty Davis Price, Tyler Croft, Nick Zakel, and Dan Brunskill. So those are the 49ers inactives.
Yeah, so pretty much what
Um,
you would expect, except
yeah.
for obviously Eric Armstead, who had some issues this week. Um, they brought up, who was it, Akeem Spence
Yep.
from the practice squad, and he'll be active today playing. Not probably not starting, but just taking that spot on the defensive line. I would expect probably Kinlaw and Charles O'Menahue to start inside,
Kevin
um,
Givens,
or Kevin Givens on rundowns. Expect them
Ridgeway.
to play a lot. Yeah, maybe Ridgeway, but shouldn't obviously Eric Armstead's a great player. Hopefully, it doesn't have too big of an impact. Obviously, Broncos have very good running game that they don't really use too much. So hopefully, losing Eric Armstead doesn't affect the game as much as it should.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Eric Armstead, he's a great interior pass rusher too, so that's gonna kind of suck not to have that big force in the middle, um, being able to disrupt Russell Wilson. So that's gonna be unfortunate. But the 49ers D line depth has always been there, so it'll be it's gonna take a few guys to mask up the production that Armstead had. So I think they'll be able to get it done though. I think Ridgeway, Givens, and Spence should all be able to get some pretty good production.
Yes, and another big key active player this week is obviously Marlon Mack. 49ers signed him to the practice squad last week from Houston. He played for Houston in the preseason. Looked pretty good on Houston. He's active today. I wouldn't expect him to get much work. I would assume it's going to be Jeff Wilson. Obviously, Debo Samuel going to run the ball a lot. And then maybe Jordan Mason gets a couple touches today. Um, wouldn't expect much of Marlon Mack today, though.
Our boy Riddy Musish says, "My girl and I love your guys' shows. Keep doing your thing. Diehard Niner fans here since the '80s. Let's go. Thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate the love." Yeah. So, yep, running back by committee. Like you said, Jeff Wilson probably getting the majority of the touches, and then I'm really excited to see Jordan Mason. I'm excited to see him get his opportunities. I thought he looked the best in the preseason, and I thought his style kind of fit the Niners scheme the best too. He was real north and south. He's gonna run hard through the hole, one cut and go type of guy. So I think Jordan Mason is gonna surprise a lot of people this game if he's given the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely explosive runner. Can break off a long gain on any play, and that's what you like from your running back, especially in Kyle Shanahan's scheme. I think that's why Debo Samuel does so well running the ball in this scheme. Um, but yeah, obviously the big thing today, Jimmy Garoppolo is your starting quarterback. First time this season, he got in obviously later in the game last week since the Trey Lance injury, but Jimmy Garoppolo from the jump. What do you expect out of the gate in this game from Jimmy Garoppolo?
I mean, I think it's gonna be the regular what you always get from Jimmy. Getting the ball out quick, getting the ball into the playmakers. Kittle's making a season debut, so I'm gonna say Kittle's gonna have over 100 receiving yards this game. Um,
George
that's a
Kittle?
that's my prediction. George Kittle, 100 receiving yards plus this game. Yeah, so you can expect Jimmy get the ball out quick, get into the hands of Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, and let those guys make the plays. Pretty much everything that we've seen from Jimmy before. I am curious to see what are your thoughts about this? Do you think we're gonna see Jimmy slinging it, I guess, as you can say, or at least throwing it down the field more than usual than what we've seen in the past?
Um, I expect to see Jimmy throw the ball maybe 25 times, 25 to 30. Most of them not deep down the field. So, you know, realistically, you would think like 15 to 20 further than 5 yards down the field. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really expect him to throw too much today.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy. So, like, we got that comment there. Kittle getting fed, going to have some highlight plays. If y'all remember, Kittle, I think, broke it was the single game, like, receiving yardage for a tight end back in, 2018 maybe?
Yeah, I
A
think it was
while ago, he broke
2018.
that record. So, yeah, he's had good games against the Broncos. And then our mom saying, what do you expect out of Kittle? Do you think we'll hit him a lot, or do you think they will take it easy on him since he's just coming back? Like I said, I think we're going to use him a lot. If you have one of the best players in the NFL at that position, you're going to use him. And if he's good to go, he's good to go. And Kittle will want the ball. So, like I said, I'm expecting 100 plus receiving yards from Kittle this game.
Yeah, I'm expecting um if I want my fantasy football team to win, I need Debo Samuel to have 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. But I think, we're going to be spreading the ball around. It doesn't, the thing in the 49ers scheme, it doesn't really matter who's covering the person because the 49ers they don't really throw the ball one-on-one. It's slants, they scheme people open, stuff like that. So, even if Pat Surtain is on Debo, still expect him to get work. Um, what I would like to see though is I would like to see us target Kwan Williams in some one-on-one matchups because as we saw last year, he lost a step. He's not as fast as he once was. You can beat him with the speed guys one-on-one.
The thing that's interesting about that is, can Jimmy, like, let's say we're doing a slot fade. I think Danny Gray or Ray McLeod's going to burn K1 vertically, right? But can Jimmy hit that? You know what I mean? Can he hit that slot fade down the field? Is going to be what that's going to be the game changers if he can hit it down the field or not. So, but even if not, you still have Jawan Jennings in the slot who plays in obviously the slot a lot. Um, Juwan Jennings is a big receiver, and K'Wan Williams is a small corner. So that height difference, you could target that as well,
Yeah.
especially with Juwan Jennings being one of the better route runners on the team, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the only thing to look out for, though, is you are playing Bradley Chubb and Randy Gregory, who Randy Gregory was also on the injury report this week, but he's a full go participant. Um, let's see. Obviously, we know what Trent Williams is going to do, but who are they going to put on Mike McGlinchey and how's he going to hold up? I was watching somebody posted a video breaking down the 49ers O line last week, and man, it was a great breakdown. You have to take a time to watch it if you can, but you can really see why the 49ers like the O linemen they have, because they are just mauling people in the run game, but then they just aren't the same in the pass game, especially Mike McGlinchey. Everyone else is held up in the pass game, but like it's a night and day difference when he's run blocking versus when he's pass blocking. It's insane to me.
Yeah. I saw there's one play, it was going around Twitter a lot. It was Aaron Banks. He was like getting downfield to the linebacker. He chipped on like the D end or D tackle, and then got downfield to the linebacker and drove him for a good. It was on the Ty Davis Price almost touchdown play.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look, if you keep watching a play or two after, you see Aaron Banks in pass protection get blown up, and I think that was his one pressure on the game. Uh, so I'm curious to see a matchup with former 49er DJ Jones versus Banks and Burford, because DJ Jones was a savage, man. That dude was a great pass rusher and a great run defender. You know what I mean? He was good on both sides of that ball, whether he was defending the run or rushing the passer. Um, so I'm curious to see that matchup, because Al Woods from the Seahawks gave some fits to Banks and Burford on that interior, and Brendel. Um, so I'm curious to see how they hold up against a player like DJ Jones, because I think obviously DJ Jones could be a Pro Bowl caliber player. So I'm curious to see that matchup too. The
Yeah,
offensive line is definitely going to be tested this week more than they've been the past 2 weeks, no doubt.
yeah, definitely. And DJ Jones' short area quickness is elite. Like
Yeah.
D tackles don't move like that. Last year he had that sack on Russell Wilson where he was like 5 yards away from him, and then he was to him in like 1 second. It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you know, they got to scheme him out of it. They're good at doing it to Aaron Donald, who's the best D tackle in the game. So I'm sure they have a plan for former 49er DJ Jones as well. Um,
Yeah.
Another person that's playing tonight for the first time for the Broncos is KJ Hamler, their speedy slot receiver. And on the Broncos podcast I went on this week, they had said, he's a guy that can give you fits deep if you let him get open. And so it'll be interesting to see KJ Hamler matched up with Samuel Womack in the slot.
Wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't KJ Hamler, weren't the Niners trying to get him? Didn't we like almost acquire him in a trade, but he failed a physical or something? There was some
Maybe.
Broncos receiver. I remember, I think it was last year or the year before, that we were trying to get in a trade, but they failed like a physical or something like that.
Yeah, it might have been him, because I do remember it wasn't one of the like slot type guys.
Yeah, it wasn't one
I
of their
just
main dudes.
Yeah, I just don't know if it
It
was
wasn't
him or the
Emmanuel
guy
Sanders,
before
obviously.
him. But yeah, it possibly could have been him. So we'll see how that matchup goes.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be an interesting thing. One thing I wanted to show, yeah, big game from number 11. Hopefully, Ayuk can pop off. One thing I wanted to show that I always think is cool, um, and this does happen before every game, at least to my knowledge. You see that? Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah. John York.
Yep. So this is John York. This is owner Jed Yorks. This is his dad. He does this before every game, and he goes around to the Niner fans handing out like pins and stuff. And Joseph and I went to a game when we were younger against the Cardinals, um, and we were down by the rails. And he came up to us, gave us a pins, and he even got us on-field passes to get on the sideline before the game started for the game against the Cardinals. Like probably like what 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago.
But yeah,
Monday
he
night
gave
game.
us on-field passes to get on the sidelines before the game. I'll never forget that. It was crazy. That guy, he's super cool, super good guy.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome that he does that for people. What are some other keys you're looking for in this game tonight?
Um, you know, we have to, like you said, I mean, the offensive line, we touched on it a lot. Uh, from a defensive perspective, I really want to see. I know you pretty much broke it down. You did 2 podcasts with those Broncos guys this week, and you pretty much touched on everything. But I'll pretty much say the same stuff. I really want to see Talanoa Hufanga. I want to see him follow it up with another great game. See if he can put it together again. Because if he can keep doing this, he's going to be an All-Pro player this year. If he keeps playing at this level, or if he can't, if it drops, I want to see how. You know what I mean? What can we expect from Hufanga? Is he just going to stay at this level, or is he going to take a little bit of a step back? So I'm interested to see that. And just see our corners too. You have a big physical receiver in Cortland Sutton. Good thing for us, I feel like we match up well with the bigger receivers just because Emmanuel Mosley's pretty big and Mooney
No,
Ward is big as
Emmanuel
well.
Mosley is small.
How tall is he?
He's small, but he just plays good against big receivers. I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure he's pretty tall, almost like 6 foot at least.
That's not that tall. Emmanuel
Um,
Mosley, 5'11", 190.
well, he
He
plays
just,
big.
yeah, he
He has
just
long
plays big.
arms, so he matches up well against those tall physical receivers. Clearly, if you watched last week's game against DK Metcalf, he matches up well against the bigger receivers, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, he's done
Um,
it for years too.
so I'm excited to see that. Jerry Judy, great route runner. I'm excited to see how we match up against him too. Um, should be a good game. Both teams are really good. I expect the Broncos to kind of get it together a little bit on offense. I don't think it's going to be what we've seen these past 2 games for them. I think they're going to be able to move the ball and put up some points.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, the D line has to get after Russell. We've seen it multiple weeks where the 49ers play a mobile guy and the D line they can't contain him. They need to find a way to contain Russell today. Um, he's been playing bad, like really bad. So do not let this be his turnaround game. We have one of the best defenses in the league. So today's the day to show it.
And I want to see Kittle, of course. Um, one of the best tight ends in the league. Supposedly, I know that your guys, the guys you're interviewing this week, said that their linebackers are decent with Josie Jewell. But
Yeah.
I've heard that that Josie Jewell's not that great. So I want to see Kittle really take advantage of those opportunities. Kittle over the middle. Their safety, Jonathan Simmons, he's out. He's one of the better safeties in the NFL. So we got to take advantage of that too on offense for sure.
Yeah, definitely some holes on their defense that we can expose. And we saw
Yeah,
Geno Smith do it in week 1. So I
yeah.
don't see why we couldn't do it either. You know, just let Jimmy do what Jimmy's got to do. It's probably going to be a close game because when Jimmy plays, it's always a close game. But, hope we can win. If you watched me on the other podcast, I gave my bully of the week and a score projection already. So let's get yours today.
Before I jump to, well, I guess we're running out of time here. So, my score prediction, I'm gonna say 27-24 49ers.
Nice.
I think it'll be a little bit of a higher scoring game. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if it's really low scoring. And I wouldn't be surprised if it switched either way too, if the Broncos end up coming out on top, because I think they are going to get right in this game a little bit more. You know what I mean? I don't think we're going to get
Yeah.
that same shitty offense that you got the last 2 weeks.
And then your bully projection of the week.
Bully of the week. Let's see. I'm not going to go Talanoa Hufanga just because that's a little bit of an easier one. I'm going to say Javon Kinlaw. I'm going to say he steps up in Eric Armstead's absence, and he gets a lot of pressures and 1 sack. I'll say 1 sack. So 100 plus receiving yards for Kittle, and then a sack for Kinlaw. That's my predictions. You have any predictions for any players this week too?
Yeah, I'll say, and Kinlaw, he comes out hard that first drive. He always seems to get hella pressure, and then I'm like, oh, like I'm pretty sure I called him bully of the week one week, and he did that, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna get it, and then tailored off. But let's see, on defense, I am gonna say the 49ers will force 2 turnovers in this game. And on offense, Jimmy Garoppolo will throw 2 touchdown passes at least in this game.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
I could definitely see it. Anybody else have any other predictions or score predictions, whatever it may be? You want to drop it in the comments. We'll stay on for about another 4 or so minutes, or yeah, you can come on stream. We'll be getting off at the 55, wherever you guys are at the 55. So about 4 more minutes. We'll stay on for a little bit. Did you see that report today? Supposedly, we were super close to trading Jimmy G to the Commanders. And then the Commanders head coach, Ron Rivera, came out and was like, no, that's complete bullshit. We were not close at all for a trade for him. So,
yeah,
that's
I could
interesting.
see it. I could see it.
You could see
that that trade was real.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because I think, obviously, Jimmy G is like a step above Carson Wentz. I think somebody would rather have Jimmy G over Carson Wentz personally, but you never know.
Yeah, and the NFC is wide open, man. Anybody can take it. Tampa looked terrible. Like
Green Bay
their
too didn't
defense
look
is
very
good,
good.
but gosh, their offense is terrible. Green Bay, they look better today, but they don't have anybody to throw to. The
Rams are kind of
Rams look,
struggling against
yeah,
the
they look
Cardinals.
normal. The Cardinals don't look good. The Vikings, who they barely beat today, the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NFC is wide open, man. It's crazy.
How about those Dolphins too? Those Dolphins are going crazy.
Dolphins, the Jaguars. We
Yeah.
thought all these other teams were going to be good in the AFC, and now it's all the teams that we didn't think were going to be good that are killing it.
So our dad says Trent Williams is going to be the bully of the week for him. Yeah, definitely could be. If he can lock up Bradley Chubb or Gregory, that could be key. Definitely be the bully of the week. Yeah, should be interesting. Should be a good game. Definitely tune in. You got anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Yep. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody that hopped on here. Thanks for showing the support. This one was a little bit of a short one. We got on a little bit later, but just wanted to give our predictions, talk with you guys a little bit. we'll see you. When do you think we'll come back on? Just because the week and everything, you're gonna have a hurricane probably.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
At least we will at least have a podcast out on Saturday though, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. So tune in for that one if we're not on there before. But yep, let's hope for health in this game. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy. Hopefully it's competitive and just have a good game. Have a kick off the Niners prime time window. Sunday night, the first Sunday night, and really just prime time game in general of the season. So hopefully it's a good one. The whole world's going to be watching. Jimmy G versus Russell Wilson should be a fun one. Got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. See you guys later. Let's go Niners. Peace.